Hello, today is the anniversary of the birth in 1944 of Sir Ranulph Fiennes, certainly our most successful and best known living explorer. He remains the only person to have been to the North and the South Pole overland, and he was the first person to cross Antarctica from one side to the other on foot. So some remarkable achievements to his name, and I wondered what he might advice you might be able to give to the rest of us who are perhaps embarking on slightly less ambitious projects. One of them is to be sure to prepare things well. He says there's no such thing as cold weather, just inappropriate clothing. And I think what he's saying there is that if we get ourselves properly prepared, then there's nothing we can't face. And of course, among the things that he has to prepare is communications, so that he's in touch all the time with his support team. But I think for us that's not a bad idea either, as an important part of preparation for any major thing that we want to take on. And then he talks about fear and how it can be frightening to take on a project which seems a bit daunting. But he says when I sawed my tip of my finger off, I was in the garden shed and my wife was bringing me tea. I think what he's saying there is that we can come to harm in any situation, and just the fact that we might be putting ourselves at what appears to be greater risk may not be any worse than just pottering around our own home. And this is one way he has of dealing with fear. And then, of course, I think he's very a determined person. He indicates in what he says that we should never give up. He searched for the lost city of Obal, which is the Quranic name for what the Old Testament calls Sodom and Gomorrah, for 25, I think, 26 years. He was searching for this lost city until it was eventually discovered. And he was determined to get to the top of Everest and be the oldest person to get to the top of Everest. And he tried it on one occasion, but had to give up. But he was determined, and in 2009, lo and behold, he managed to achieve it. He is the oldest person ever to have climbed Everest. And so determination, good preparation, and really realizing that fear can be put in its place are qualities that we can perhaps bring to any ventures that we might be thinking of undertaking, even though there'll be no doubt a lot less adventurous and a lot less hazardous than the things that Ranulph Fiennes tends to pick on doing.